Hi, welcome to the show on episode 6 of Radio Hot Air. And today we have a classic episode, just Noah, Dunphy, no guests, no BS.
Back to the old days.
Back to the old days.
Man, it feels different not having either someone different across, I'm guessing, from you or having someone next to me.
I think it's nice. I think it's nice to be back together with you.
Touching upon old roots, so to speak.
Exactly.
No, yeah, I'm looking forward to this episode, and I think we've got some good stuff in the plan to talk about.
So, first of all, a couple notices from me is, yes, I am watching The Mandalorian. I've gotten tickets today to see Star Wars on the premiere day, which I'm really excited about.
When is premiere?
I think it's the 18th, so in 6 days. And this is a little promotion for our Star Wars Christmas special, which is going to be with 2 special guests, also Star Wars fanatics, and will be uploaded on Christmas Day, the 25th. So when you're playing with your presents, unwrapping, you can listen with your loved ones to a fantastic Star Wars review. So look out for that. That'll be fun. It'll be in a replacement of that Saturday's episode, but we'll let you know on that episode when that comes out. Sadly, also to let you know, for the next 2 episodes, Dominic, you will be where?
I will be in Aspen, Colorado, so I'll be heading out to see our American viewers. No, not really. I'll be out for the next 2 episodes, unfortunately. However, I believe Noah has got some great new guests.
Yeah, we have some guests lined up. Secondly, I think this is official now, is that I am the host and you're the co-host. I think I can say it. I think I can coin it. I think I can go on with that.
Okay.
You just let it. You're letting it happen.
I'm just letting it happen. I'm not arguing this today. You can be the host, Noah.
I can be the host.
Okay.
You know why? Because you're going to be missing 3 episodes. I've missed none.
Yes.
None.
I know, but I can't help it.
You have to go ski.
I do. I have to go ski. It's sad, but.
So our first topic today, why don't you take us where we were last week, where we left the cliffhanger? What happened in the airport? What happened on the plane? What did you do?
I was coming back from Munich on a KLM flight, and I was sitting next to this Bangladeshian man, and he's a very lovely man. However, I was trying to study for an aviation exam that I'm sitting on Thursday, and he kept talking to me. And there I am with my notebook, reading some important some very important points that I need to write and remember off by heart. However, every 5 seconds he'd ask me a question or say, "Oh, I'm heading here for 3 weeks," or "What do you recommend? How long's the wait time?" And I love talking to people. However, I was very stressed, and I really needed to prepare this.
Well, I would get highly annoyed.
Has something similar happened to you on a train, maybe? Or
I've never had. I don't know. I feel like maybe it's just an aura that I just have about. Just don't talk to me. But no, I've no.
Yeah. You should have a T-shirt. I'm going to print you on that says, "Don't talk to me. I will go on forever." No.
Not that I go on forever. I have talked to people on planes, but that was like consensual talking. To each other, and that was fun. But whenever I'm on a plane, all I do, headphones,
See, that's the thing where I went wrong.
Oh, you didn't do the headphones?
No.
Oh, big mistake.
I had them, but I couldn't put them in because he was talking to me. So I felt like if I'd put them in, it would just seem very rude.
No, but that's the thing, is you need to have, because obviously saying, please stop talking to me is a bit rude. Right, but so social indications of wanting to not talk is what you should have done.
So did
you do anything like you could be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, or excuse me,
Of course, no.
Did you try any of that?
In my opinion, I couldn't do that.
You can't do that.
Too rude. Too rude to do
that. So you
that.
didn't try to disengage the conversation?
No. I did. I was like, funny, yeah, true.
No, but that's engaging though.
That's closed-end engaging, I'd say.
Yeah, sure, it's closed. But it's also just like, when you're talking to someone and they just go, yeah, okay.
That's what I was doing.
Yeah, that is, socially speaking, an acknowledgement that you're listening to the other person. But that's like showing that you're engaged, right? Yeah, see, this is the sounds that you're making, showing that you're engaged with what I'm saying.
Okay.
And you were doing that to this guy. And you weren't doing anything else to try to cut the conversation.
Yeah, no.
See, that's where you came. That's where you were wrong. I would have said personally, if someone comes up to me and they want to talk to me, and I don't feel like talking to them, I'm like, I say something and I say, "That's very nice, thank you," and then I turn away, headphones, no more conversation.
So the headphones are sort of like the mint of bad breaths.
Yes, it's just like, please leave me alone.
You just, headphones gone, or would you
no,
like a mint?
This is the thing: is you need to be quick. You need to manage. So while they're talking to you, you go, yeah, okay. Then you grab your bag, because I always have my bag in front of me in an airplane.
Yep.
Like my backpack. Then I grab my headphones. I put my headphones on my lap, turn them on because they're Bluetooth. Then I say, "Oh, that's very interesting. Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much."
Yeah.
And then I pop them on
Straight away. Gone.
And then they know. No more conversation.
That person is no longer in my life. I am now just going to focus on either TV. But this was only a 2 hour. Oh no, sorry, God! It was only an hour and 5 minute flight. It was barely anything. But still, the whole time, I was trying to write digits or anything, and it'd just be like, "My family's down the back of the plane. I'm looking forward to seeing them when I get off. We're renting a car. We're going to drive in Amsterdam. Is driving in Amsterdam hard? Are the bikes really hard?"
You know what? But you could also do the if you didn't have your headphones with you, you can do the head tilt.
What do you mean?
The head tilt.
Like the.
So normally, if you're having a conversation, you look them in the eyes, or you kind of glance at them, and you're like, So you right, and then you go, right.
That's what I was doing.
That's what you were doing. Now, if you only write and go, so that means you're not tilting your head, and you're not looking at the other person. You're not eye contact. You're not engaging.
Yeah.
And even better is you start looking out of the window, which means that you're actively not listening.
But I was in the aisle.
Oh, then you look into the aisle.
So what? Look just around.
Look away. Yeah.
Look
Don't
at the
engage. You gotta
that's
not.
Really interesting carpet, KLM. Nice patterns.
But you just don't engage.
Don't engage with them. Okay.
Yeah. I think that's the advice. That's my advice.
So just try to limit engagement.
Exactly. So I wanted to talk about corridor mayhem is what I call it. Do you know what I mean? Already me talking about saying this. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What do you think I mean?
I think you mean that. Is this a general or more BSA?
No, it's general.
General.
Walking down a corridor.
Well,
what are your fears when walking down a corridor?
Fears. Running into someone around a corner.
Oh.
Like walking in
Okay.
to each other.
Okay. More socially, though. Oh, but do someone that you know or not someone that you know?
Not someone I know. So, like, let's say I was in what's a department store in America that you know?
What do you mean?
Big, like Walmart.
Yeah, like
let's say
okay.
I'm walking around like a
corner.
bathroom corner, and I bump into someone that I don't know.
Oh, that's the fear? I have like a way different fear.
What's your different fear?
My different fear is when it's a long corridor, and at the end you see someone you know, and I don't know what to do, because I don't know what that other person is expecting of me. First of all,
this sounds like a really romantic scene out of a movie.
No.
Two lovers looking at each other.
Because do I make eye contact while I'm walking towards them? Do I look to the side? Do I grab my phone to pretend to do something else?
Pretend to be on a phone. That's
You pretend to be on a phone?
Yeah.
See, this is different strategies. So, to pretend to be on a phone, and then when I walk past, I don't know at what point I need to say hello, if I need to say hello, or if I need to do a wave. Because there's so many variables. Because it depends on the person, and I don't know what they're expecting of me. And I have a feeling, that I feel like everyone might have this.
Yeah.
And everyone's kind of in this kind of thing of like, I don't know what to do.
See, that's not what I thought you meant. I thought it was like it's someone you know. You're in like a environment. Is this an environment that you know them from? Like, let's say at work, or is
like
this...
imagine at school. And it's like someone.
That's normal. I whenever I walk past, I just say, "Hey, how are you?" And then like, "Yeah, good." Like walking past a teacher, I'll say, "Oh, how are you today, sir?" "Yeah, not bad. Yourself?" "Yeah,
Yes,
not
but
bad."
if you're walking and you're at the edges of the corridor and you see each other, then
you have to wait.
You wait.
Yeah.
Don't you just go down the corridor?
Well, no, I mean like I'll walk, but I'll start walking, and when I'm like within 10 meters, I'll like, "Oh, hiya, sir." Like
But during the walk, you don't make eye contact.
No, of course I'll make like
You'll like stare at them.
No, not step, but like be like, "Hey, yeah, good to see you, sir." Like something like that.
No, but like
good to see you, miss.
you're like 20 meters apart still.
No, you have to wait till you're 10 meters or so.
Yeah, but what do you do when you're 20 meters apart? Do you look at them?
Or
do you look away?
I look like that. So I'm walking forward. My eye contact is forward, facing, like my eyes are straight. However, they might be to my left or my right, depending on which side of the corridor I'm walking on.
Oh, okay.
So, and then when you get to that point, you're like, good to see you, sir. Good to see you, miss.
Yes, what if it's someone you don't know very well? Or that you just don't normally talk to?
Yeah, then I
Do you just ignore them?
I say like hi or something. No, it's not. It's like good to see you or like hi.
Or do you just do like a little wave?
Yeah, like
a little hi.
Like the smirk.
Or like the nod.
Smirk.
Actually, I do the nod down. The nod down.
Yeah,
you know
like
the nod down? Yeah, the nod down.
The nod down.
Yeah.
Noah, can you explain that to the audience who can't see?
Well, you just nod down.
So it's like an inch down or like
just
a
like
centimeter?
an inch down.
Like
It's like like a nod.
do you clench the cheeks like that?
Do I clench it? But maybe.
No.
Potentially.
Spice it up.
So, you wanted to talk about something else?
You know, I did. And we haven't brought this up for a while, but I have a confession to make.
Confession?
Yes.
Oh, God, not a confession. That sounds bad.
I pollute.
You pollute. Dunphy, are you going to get lynched by the internet now?
I am. I'm someone who likes bottled water rather than... Like, I like tap water.
Oh, is this the topic? Folks, if you didn't know, this topic has been on the list since day one. And we haven't talked about it. And I am so excited to finally be able to delete it off of our talking point list. This is this is great news.
I was looking at it today and I was like, we have to bring this up.
We got to get rid of it. Yeah, I got to get it off that list.
Bottled water tastes so good. Fresh bottled water when it's cold.
Fresh bottled water. Okay, when it's cold.
So, give you an example. I was at an MUN conference in The Hague.
It's a debating conference, yeah.
And you were there with me.
Okay.
And a girl from our school. So I go and pay for it. It's €1.50, and I drink like I take a sip.
For a bottle of water.
It's ridiculous. I drink a sip, and I have it, and I put it on my desk because I'm talking to one of the other chairs, someone who also runs the conference. And then a girl from our school, who shan't be named, she'll be called Girl X. Girl J.
Doesn't matter.
She comes up and she takes it and drinks it all.
Ooh, I don't like that at all.
The fresh bottle of water.
That's not nice.
And I turned, I said, what did it all go? And she goes, don't worry, I'll refill it. But it's not fresh water. It's out of the tap. Does that annoy you?
Okay, it annoys me. I feel like, first of all, I gotta say, I think your notion of having that bottled water taste better than tap water is stupid.
No.
Okay? Because you live in the Netherlands, okay?
We're underwater.
And we have some of the best tap water in the world. It is delicious and refreshing and doesn't taste like chlorine, and it is awesome. Okay? You can simply have a bottle of water and keep it in the fridge so that you can have cold water. Okay?
Doesn't work.
Next, I do think that her taking your water is kind of not cool.
It's so sad.
Because it's not a refill bottle.
No, it's a plastic bottle that...
No, but it's not, as in like, it's not like, it's the original water.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that's not cool.
It was brand new, still cold.
Brand new.
You know when
it was
has
cold
too.
It
has like the, you know where you can like you can see the finger marks.
Okay. That's not great.
It was, and she said, "Don't worry, I'll go fill it up." Just out of the tap.
Also, the thing I don't like about these plastic bottles is that there's always like, it doesn't taste nice when it's filled up. Unlike if you have like a proper metal bottle,
then
it's fine.
It's consistent.
Yeah, but for the plastic ones, it's because like the particular, like I think you get some microplastics in your water bottle.
Oh God.
So then it tastes weird. It tastes strange.
And just imagine it's just all living in you.
Well, it's not living. It's just because it's plastic.
Just sitting there.
It'd be like, I don't know what happens to it.
That's actually really interesting.
Does it go out of you? Does
the microplastics?
Does
it filter or does it just?
Or does it get stuck in your body? That's pretty nasty. Imagine that's like a whole bunch of plastic.
Because that's the argument, that plastic that goes in the sea, all the fish eat it, and then microplastics are in it. Then we're eating the fish.
Yeah.
Does it?
But does the microplastics just pass through us?
Yeah. Is it just like?
No, because if it would just pass through, then there wouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, and if it just passed through fish as well, it doesn't pass through fish. But
no, it stays in the fish.
Yeah, so does it stay in us as well?
Yes.
We'll come back to that. I'll make a note. We'll research that.
I don't think they know. Do they know?
We'll find out. We'll do some research I'll do some research.
Not now.
No, for next week. And Noah can tell you.
I'll tell you about it
when I'm back. One of the two.
If we remember, we'll see. So can we? So, I wanted to talk about something else, which was Mac or PC.
Well, that's quite interesting because right now we have a Mac and a PC back to back.
Very true, but you are a Mac person?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
I was put in the Apple ecosystem from day one. I got an iPhone.
As a baby? You were born and your mom was like, here you go.
I got an iPhone when I was 6.
6?
Yeah.
That's a bit young.
When did you get your first iPhone?
I don't know. I didn't get an iPhone. I had a flip phone.
I had a flip phone when I was 5.
And then, I was like, I don't know. I feel like I was like 7 when I had my flip phone. Then I had a BlackBerry for a couple of years.
Oh, they were awesome.
No, Blackberries were terrible.
You hated them?
I hated my
I
Blackberry.
loved Blackberries.
Anyway, my Blackberry. And then I got, I think, my mom's old iPhone 4. So she had upgraded
To the 5S or
to the 5 or to the 6 maybe.
Okay.
And I got her 4. And that's what my first smartphone was.
How old were you?
I don't know.
Was that 11-ish?
But like
when
maybe
it came out?
Yeah. No, because I got it like a couple years after it came out. Anyway.
Sorry, we're getting distracted.
So I had an iPhone for a while. Then I swapped to Samsung phones, and I love it because iPhones are a pain in the ass because you can't do anything with them, and they're really restrictive. That's why I have a Samsung S8, and I have a Windows computer. I have no Apple computers except for my iPad.
And your Apple Pencil.
And my Apple Pencil, and my Apple case, which have cost me an arm and a leg. And for those of you wondering from episode 1, as I did not get that case back, and Apple just took it from me.
We still haven't heard back from Apple regarding the case.
Doesn't matter. Is I've grown to accept the case that I currently have.
It's
so,
nice.
It's acceptable.
It's satisfactory.
It's satisfactory. It works. But Apple, I don't like Apple except with their iPad. I think iPads are great because they are of the best quality in pads. Like the Samsung and the Microsoft pads, I don't think are as good as the iPad.
What about like Surface and all those?
No, I don't like the Surface Book because I think it's a bit too heavy and it has like stuff that I don't need, and I don't like the pen as much. And I think the Apple is the pencil's so well integrated into everything that I'm doing that I can just use this, all the different apps and all the stuff, and I love that, and I love how that works. And I think the iPad works fantastically. But I would never get a MacBook, especially because I like to play video games, and you can't do that.
That's the downside.
So never would get a MacBook. I'm very happy with my Windows laptop, and I think it's just too expensive.
Look, Macs are great computers for if you do design and stuff.
I don't think that's accurate. I don't think that.
No?
I don't think that it is accurate at all to say that they're great for design.
I think they're great.
No kidding. Well, yeah, you have one, but I think that this entire concept of like, they're good for media and design and all this stuff, I think that's a myth that Apple has done with their marketing.
And it's great.
Yeah.
It's worked so well.
Yes, it has. Apple is a magnificent marketing machine where they can sell products that are worth very little just physically, but just put a half-eaten apple on the thing, and then it's like, now we're selling it for €1,000. Wasn't there this thing where the new stand for a screen? How much was that? Did you know?
Oh yeah, that was in the hundreds.
It was in the hundreds, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was just like, this is insane. That's ridiculous.
But people still bought it.
People did still buy it. And I think that's so wasteful of money. And if you want to spend your money that way, that's fine. I'm just saying I would never do that myself.
But mind you, Apple's had some failed products. The worst it's ever had was the MacBook computer, but without the screen. So it was like an Apple TV? It was like that, except a MacBook Pro or MacBook integrated system, so you can plug it into a TV and use it as a computer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. Point is Apple is too expensive, and it doesn't like the value per dollar or per euro.
Just not worth it.
Just not worth it compared to other alternatives.
I don't know. See, this is where the marketing mix comes in: price, product, place, promotion. And I think Apple has got. I've said the wrong thing. But Apple has design. Apple's design, it makes it look elegant, and that's what I like. Like a lot of PC computers tend to be plastic.
No, but then you're just not fine. There are elegant computers that have Windows on them, and I think that I agree. Apple does look very nice.
It's sleek.
It's sleek. It
like this. Your iPad Pro looks amazing.
It is very sleek, and it is very modern, and it is part of their marketing, and everything's thin and light, and everything in nice screens.
The color.
But that's what you're paying for.
Yeah.
And it's not a practical thing that you pay for.
It's not.
Because if you're trying to be economic, right? If you're strapped for cash, you don't really care about the design of a product. You just want a functional piece of technology.
True.
You know?
I guess that is true. But if you had that extra money, and you wanted something that looks good, because if I had millions and millions and millions extra, right? Then I would probably get a Apple laptop and have like a Windows PC for video games with like a crazy 4K monitor and stuff. But it's only if I had a very large personal excess of money. So you'd never get a Mac.
So I would never get a Mac under any probably not get a Mac under these circumstances, because you're saying if I have a little bit of extra money, like an extra €1,000 to spend, do I then spend that on getting a nicer designed Mac? Yep. No, I would not. I would save that money, or I would invest that money, because I think it is better for my future that I don't waste it on,
a computer that you're going to upgrade in 4 years.
A computer, not a computer that is not as functional as something that's worth less.
But I do like the fact that there are less viruses tend to attack Macs less.
I don't, the entire
you don't buy it?
No, I do. It's true because less people use Mac OS.
Yeah.
Meaning that when someone designs a virus, they want to design it so that it attacks
the largest demographic,
largest amount of computers. Because so many computers use Windows, they generally design them for Windows.
Yeah.
And that's why everyone's like, oh, but Macs don't get viruses. True.
They do get viruses, but it's just it's the ratio is a lot less.
Lower.
Yeah.
But I've had viruses once on a computer and never again. I think if you're just a sane person that uses the internet, you will not get a virus. If you don't go on any shady websites or don't download things illegally, you'll be fine.
She'll be right, mate.
So, the other thing is I wanted to ask you about teleprompters.
I've never used one.
But thoughts on them? What if you see a politician use them?
I've seen the screen, like the glass screen where it's projected and politicians can read off it, but not like a camera.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen
No, but I see them all the time, like when whoever's giving a speech, they have their little screens and stuff. But do you think that a president or someone reading off of a teleprompter makes it less sincere?
I think if we know about it, yes. So, for example, we don't see newsreaders have paper in front of them and read like the Brexit Party.
No, they look at the camera and then that's
and
where
they
the
read
teleprompter
it,
is.
and it's direct address, and I feel like that is really powerful. So yes, seeing the president of the United States, Donald Trump, or seeing the president of Pakistan or the president of Russia reading a piece of paper,
I think it's Prime Minister of Pakistan. It doesn't matter.
Don't quote it. We don't know.
We don't know. I think pretty sure it's Prime Minister. Doesn't matter.
Prime Minister.
Move on.
Anyway, you need to not. The audience needs to not be able to see it, especially if it's a very engaging topic. We need to know that this politician knows his stuff, or she knows her stuff, so we can kind of trust what they're saying.
Okay.
It's all in the representation.
It is in the representation. However, I feel like a heartfelt, amazing, patriotic, powerful speech, which a lot of people try to give, and some of them achieve, right?
Obama was good with that, right?
Yeah. So, I think that if it was possible, and that they did it off the cuff, as it were, it would be so much more impressive.
Yeah.
And I would really, go along with that. But that's not realistic, obviously. No, they would just talk and they go like, and the people, they're strong because, you can't really make an inspirational speech easily off the cuff. No. So I think it's necessary. But if I see someone just reading off of a script...
My fellow Americans.
No, but like reading instances, my fellow Americans, today we saw whatever, Al-Qaeda, something. Yeah. I feel like that's less genuine. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's a bummer.
Someone's just written it for him or her.
Someone's written it for them, and I feel like that's less powerful.
Yeah.
But comparing, because whenever you see shots of like Donald Trump, you always see those screens which get projected on, right, in the
and
shot.
then the words, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can see the screens. If he were to have memorized them rather than with the screens, would you think that would be better? That he memorized it rather than teleprompting it?
Yeah.
You think that's better? Why do you think it's better?
Because it means that what he is reading, well, like what he is saying, he actually took the time to read, learn, understand, and he knows the topic so well.
But do you think that the president or any politician should be really like wasting their time learning all of their speeches by heart?
Not at all.
You know,
Not at all.
It's not practical.
It's not practical.
It's
at
not
all.
practical.
Because if you think about how long it takes for you to learn a monologue or a
oh
duologue,
my god, that
it
was a
takes
nightmare.
ages. As many of you are probably unaware, Noah over here is very good at acting.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
And he was in a play called Into the Woods.
I was. School play.
School play.
Kicked ass.
No, he did. He did. He was amazing.
I was very, yeah.
Do you remember any lines?
No, I don't.
No, not one.
I don't, no.
Actually, no. High in her tower, she sits by the hour, maintaining her hair.
Oh, yeah, that was your song.
Blithe and becoming and frequently humming. Sorry.
For light-hearted air. Yeah. Oh, wait, let me see. I think I can remember one, which was, at first I seem mysterious.
Yes!
But, then I'm nothing serious or something.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Because you were the mystery man,
I was
right?
a mysterious man.
Mysterious
it was
man.
very, very small part, but
No,
it was fun, I guess.
It was an important part because it added that comedic relief.
I don't know. Let's see. Does the part? We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out eventually.
But I had a lot of difficulty learning my lines, and if you have to, I could imagine if you're president or whatever, and you have to learn every single speech by heart.
You're done.
Whew, what a nightmare.
Done.
Oh, what about then during debates? If they often practice catchphrases beforehand.
Yep.
And do you notice that when you watch debates? That they've that's what they practice, and that makes it less ingenuous, and that makes it bad, and that's lame.
I get what I've never come across. I've never watched an American politician debate.
Have you watched any debates ever?
Yes, debates. Yes.
No, as in political debates.
Political debates. I've watched a few Australian prime minister, but it's very, very not American style at all. You don't have people sitting in a room and going, "Yeah, go," like that sort of stuff.
No,
it's very different.
First off, you don't know because you've never seen one.
No,
so you can't talk about
exactly.
it. But yet you're still talking about it.
No, I'm talking about what I've seen on The Good Wife.
So, The Good Wife.
So
I
know what it looks like.
Yeah, television drama.
Exactly. I know.
I don't.
But what I'm saying is, I know what the settings look like, but I don't know what actually happens. Yeah.
Current American politics seems very dramatical, but it's not up, I don't know. Is it up to the level of a television drama?
No, what I'm saying is the setting.
The setting.
The setting, how, they're having
it's
the debates.
It's in universities, just with the lectern, and they have questions from a moderator.
One on each side, and then there's a panel, and then people sit behind.
Or that's one of them.
Or it can be in not a ring style, but there'll be two benches.
Well, no, it depends. So you can either have a town hall, or you can have a direct moderated debate. So either the moderator asks questions, or people ask questions.
What do you have to do to become a moderator?
You're basically the debates are hosted by news people. So you have CNN, MSNBC, Fox News.
That's
they
cool.
They all host debates. So they invite delegate candidates to come over and have a debate on their platform. And then the hosts of the news shows on those networks will be moderators.
Why don't you become a news host?
We'll see what I do with my life. I don't know.
I could see you.
Well, that's very kind. So the 3-person show. Thoughts? What do you think? How was it?
It
First
was
one.
very cramped. Very cramped. Small table, and it got hot. But I really enjoyed the content that came out.
Yeah?
It was very good.
You think it added something?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, if you want to let us know, I'm sure that social media will be up at some point in the future.
Yes, very shortly. We're just finalizing some
and
stuff.
We're happy to communicate with you, which will be very fun.
Mm-hmm.
And please remember that if you want to watch us live, which you can, is at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time at twitch.tv/Radio Hot Air.
Don't forget Zorro's.
He's not here anymore, so I do not have to talk about European time. So please listen to us live. We always appreciate it. Tell your friends, tell your family, to everyone you know to listen to our show, because that's more fun.
Tell your mums, uncles, donkeys, brothers, sisters, monkeys, friend. We're here to spread joy around everyone internationally. So we hope you tune in live.
Yes. So you wanted to say you have very something dear to your heart, which is what's happening at the Dutch airport today.
So
That side does. I don't know what's going on.
you don't know what's going on?
I don't know. I don't follow airline. As you don't follow American debates, I do not follow airline news.
Okay, so there's a Greenpeace climate protest at Amsterdam's Schiphol Airport.
That sounds productive. That sounds good.
I know. These people don't understand that...
I'm not being sarcastic here.
No.
I'm being sincere in I think protests are in good because our planet is dying.
You think they're good?
I think protests can be very effective.
The silence. Oh, okay.
To people listening, his just shock of amazement there was astonishing, and he was like, "Excuse me, you want to save the environment?"
No, it
What?
wasn't. It wasn't the fact. It's the fact that these people can do it in so much in better ways.
I was wondering, is it a legal protest?
It was. I'm not sure. I don't think it was because I was reading the news articles and they were from a week ago.
A week ago.
So they would say.
So the Dutch government approved the protest.
I don't know if they approved, but I know that the Dutch government was expecting the protest to come through.
Okay.
So I think what these protests aim to do is they aim to block the crew entrances to delay flights.
Okay.
However, what they don't realize is that the average 737-800 burns 5,000 pounds of aviation fuel an hour.
Okay. Even if it's just sitting there?
No, like flying, circling.
Yeah. Oh.
So Amsterdam is quite a full airport. It's very busy.
Wait, yes, for the people in all over the world, Schiphol, which is the international airport in Amsterdam, is one of the busiest airports in Europe and in the world.
In the world, yeah.
How many passengers a year? Do you know?
No.
You seem like a guy that would know.
I couldn't tell you that off the top of my head.
Do you know
I'm sorry.
is it like the third largest in Europe?
I can tell you it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 runways.
Six runways.
It's huge, and it caters American international flights, European flights.
Yeah, all over the world, all
Asia.
continents except Antarctica.
Yes, it is so big and so powerful that
Powerful.
and they
It's a powerful
They have this
airport.
saying. No, they have a saying that if Schiphol catches a cold, the rest of Europe gets the chills
Really?
because it just affects the airline industry.
Jesus.
So the issue is all these climate protesters are delaying these flights. What happens to these delayed flights? Aircrafts have to taxi. They have to hold in the taxiway. Air traffic control for the Dutch.
I Googled it.
Yep.
It's 71.1 million passengers a year. That's
Hear
a
that,
lot
folks?
Yeah,
Hear that.
71.1.
Now, if you do the maths there, think about how many people are traveling through Schiphol a day. Just today, and today was a weekend, so it's going to be more busy. People are traveling around the world.
But that's like takeoffs and departures.
Yes.
Anyway, so continue, please.
So, if the climate protesters are delaying crew members to their flights, this means that more planes are going to have to burn more fuel, there's going to be more delays, people are going to be angry. Why would you do this? To make a point. You can make this point in so many other effective ways.
You know, first of all, I Googled it, and according, Schiphol is the 14th largest airport in the world. Obviously with American
Seattle?
Atlanta being the biggest, because go America.
Go Atlanta.
So what I think of that is I think that protests, they try to, bring awareness to the situation. Yeah. And I think we travel too much by air, especially in Europe, where we have an amazing rail system.
You do. I love traveling by train.
And that you can, if you're trying to go to London, you can either fly an hour or you can easily just take a train across the English Channel. Okay. Yeah. Or if you go to Paris, direct trains, high-speed trains. You can do that. The Thalys, yeah. The Thalys. And I think we should fly less because it's really bad for the environment. I don't think this is the way that you should go about doing it because, as you said, it's so negatively counteracting if the fuel thing that you said is true and that it causes the circle more, I think that's also devastating.
If I pull up Flight Radar right now on my phone, you will see there's a holding point over, pardon my pronunciation, Dutch people, Lelystad. Can you say
Lelystad.
Lelystad. That's where Schiphol holds their aircrafts. There and also over the English Channel. Okay. So you can just see how many aircrafts are orbiting overhead.
You know what's interesting is I had an argument with someone a couple weeks ago about protests in general and about blocking streets and stopping people from going places.
I hate it.
And I think that the fear that I have is that some people, they care about the environment, but not like hyperly much, as in they would vote for someone who wants to fix it, but they wouldn't go out of their way to fix it themselves.
Yeah.
However, the fear that I have is that if you have something that closes an entire city for a day, or you close an airport for a day, you'll create such a essential disgruntlement with the populace that people will just get grumpy with these climate people trying to change all this.
It's like Extinction Rebellion in London when they started climbing on tubes and building scaffolding in the middle of streets.
So, is that
is that too far?
Is it too far? I don't know how to answer that question. I think this is a contentious issue, and whether it's effective, I think, is interesting to say, comparing to the awareness raised towards the amount of disgruntlement that you build with the protest itself and the politicians that associate with that. Because if you have a politician who is presenting themselves on a green platform to make the environment a better place, and then by doing that, also associating with that protest group, you will be less likely to vote for them and cause the change. Yeah. Because you're upset with what that's happened and how that has affected you. So I don't know. Is it? I don't know how the trade-off works there. This is an interesting thing, and I don't know.
When is too far too far?
It's not about too far. It's about how we need to protest, and I think freedom of speech
is important.
Is the most important thing in our society, and it is the fundamental right that everyone should have.
Freedom of speech. Agreed.
And the freedom of assembly and being able to protest. But then when you start blocking people's ways and causing the disgruntling, making the populace very upset, I don't know if that's effective. Yeah. Especially, this is quite funny with the Extinction Rebellion stuff. They closed down a whole big street, causing everyone to have to go around and causing huge traffic, right? And imagine all the pollution from that traffic.
No, there was a great example. So, do you know Sydney roughly, how it looks?
I have no idea.
Okay, well, we have the Sydney Harbour Bridge, and that is our main. So Sydney has a huge harbour, and it goes inland quite far, and we have a bridge and a tunnel, and they're always busy in the morning.
Always busy.
So the Extinction Rebellion decided the bridge is like 7 lanes wide, and public transport goes over it. There's no other way for the public transport to go over it. Okay. So they decided to hang themselves. Like, not literally hang, but like a hammock.
Oh, God, imagine that.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Our planet. No, they decided to hang themselves.
That is some, like, apocalyptic
weird,
thing.
Man. That's not... No, but they hung themselves in hammocks under the bridge, closing the bridge.
Jeez.
So the only option is everyone to drive around the harbour for about an hour and 45 minutes, plus traffic, or go in the tunnel, which is backed up.
So I don't know if you want to talk about this, but how do you feel about who getting Person of the Year? I don't know if you want to talk about this. Do you want to talk about this?
I think there are some better people that could have had the award.
Who would have been your pick for the Person of the Year?
I can't say that, because there's probably someone who's found a step closer to the cure for cancer, or someone who is identified. You just don't know? No, I'm not aware of who else has done amazing things with their life. But a girl that's saying planes are bad for the environment, airlines are not doing anything to resolve this, is factually incorrect. United now uses biofuel flights, so flights that emit less, and they're upgrading their aircraft by reducing drag, by putting winglets on their aircraft. These airlines are trying to find solutions, but she's not giving them any credit. And I know this is very biased because I'm only looking at an airline's point of view.
That is true.
I'm sure there are
You're
many...
Not, yeah.
Yeah.
I think your limited scope in just looking at airlines, because that's your fascination, is a bit damaging here.
It is, but if you look, many companies around the world, Tesla, trying to find solutions. We are a world that is advancing, but Greta is just stepping on us, saying that our parents are killing our future.
Well, they are. I think a lot of what you said is very truthful, and I think the climate crisis is the biggest thing that we've that our generation has to face, especially. And I have to be very careful with what I say, because for other people around the world, there are larger and more immediate challenges to them than climate change.
For sure, definitely.
But for us in, Western, like Europe,
MEDCs,
just highly developed economies, it is the thing that we need to be focusing on.
Mm-hmm.
And even in developing economies, we need to have appropriate things in place to curb carbon emissions.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think that she says a lot of true things, and I think we need to work on it.
The thing is, what I don't like about her is, and you'll agree with me here.
I don't know. I do not. Don't speak for me, man.
I won't, but
especially on a contentious issue.
She'll say stuff like, we need to get rid of shipping routes.
Shipping routes.
Like cargo shipping
Yeah.
routes. That will destroy trade between nations, destroying years of globalization.
I think that sometimes you have different kinds of people. And you have activists, and you have like kind of normal everyday people, and you have people who trail behind.
Slacktivism?
Kind of. Anyway,
Okay.
so activists are there to push the agenda as far as they possibly can.
Okay.
And she says things, I feel like this is where it comes from. She says very kind of extreme and potentially outrageous things about environmentalism and activism.
Like Trump?
No, well, don't compare. I don't think that's a fair comparison. And I think that's just to push the envelope further of what environmentalism can be. And it's up to the rest of us who are more moderate to figure out what realistic solutions are to figure out the goal. But if she's not there to increase the bar as to what we're willing to consider to fix the problem, then I think it's valuable that we have that.
Yep.
I think it's valuable that we have someone who's pushing the bar. But that doesn't mean I necessarily agree with the ideas. But activism has a place.
In our
But
society.
everyone being activists would be not good.
No.
Because I think that the solutions are very achievable. I think activists are pushing their agenda, and I think activists are doing a good job with doing that. And then I think everyone else also and they help us try to force us to figure out a realistic solution. And I think that's very valuable. So the other thing that I wanted to say was actually, sorry, I didn't want to say anything. You wanted to tell us a story.
I wouldn't call it a story, but I'd call it a weird thing that I don't understand about your culture.
My culture.
Well, half your culture.
Well, half of my. I would.
Half
say,
of half.
I am. Sometimes I get annoyed with people who say I'm an international person, because as in like I'm not actually from anywhere. You know these kinds of people.
Yeah.
It's like I'm a citizen of the world. You know these people. Yeah. I feel very American, and I also have some. I feel very American in that I have very much pride in
America.
in America and the country.
You love your passport.
It's fantastic. When I always, because I have it in my room, and whenever I see it, it just puts a smile on my face. It's like, that's really great. But I'm also Dutch. I have dual citizenship, and I have a bit of both of my cultures. And there are many things I appreciate about Dutch culture. Anyway, sorry to go on that tangent.
Anyway,
please.
so your part of
my heritage.
Part
I
of your
guess.
heritage.
Anyway.
Whenever I go out and walk the dog and it's late, I don't bother putting on like pants. So
You don't put pants on?
I'm someone that wears shorts and a t-shirt around the house. Like
Oh, okay. I
So
thought
that-
you were just going to go nude outside.
No,
I was
no,
like,
no.
that's not
I wear
okay.
shorts
I
and
know we're in
t-shirts.
Amsterdam. That's pretty
Yeah.
liberal,
No.
but still, I don't think that's okay.
No, I wear shorts and t-shirt, but I decided not to get changed to walk the dog or throw the rubbish out or walk into the yard behind.
The trash.
The trash, garbage,
Wait, what's American? Trash or garbage?
trash,
Trash?
trash.
Who's garbage?
Garbage is Australian. Garbage truck,
Garbage.
Yeah.
Garbage truck.
garbage truck,
Is it garbage truck? Trash truck.
garbage truck.
What do British people say? Bin truck.
The bin truck.
No.
The unusable waste truck.
No, American, I think we say garbage truck.
Yeah, we say garbage truck.
Yeah, what do
Or, well,
what do
our
English people
slang
say?
is garbo. You're a garbo.
A garbo?
Yeah, so someone who is a...
No, that's ridiculous.
No, garbage truck. Someone that drives a garbage truck is a garbo.
No.
Yeah.
That's so dumb.
What?
I'm sorry.
How?
That's awful. Wow.
Garbo.
A garbo.
Yeah, you're a garbo.
That sounds like some sort of sci-fi, Star Trek-y kind of thing. Oh, it's a garbo.
Yeah.
I could imagine like an alien that likes to eat trash. This is what I think of.
Anyway.
No, not anyway. Sorry.
You can't... Garbo.
I think
it makes sense.
It sounds so made up and it sounds ridiculous.
Garbo.
I'm sorry. Anyway,
Anyway.
Continue.
So I just wear shorts, t-shirt. I might put a jumper on, like a jacket.
A jacket.
And then I'll wear my thongs. For those who don't know what thongs are flip-flops, not sandals, flip-flops. So thongs, I will say thongs, and from now on it means flip-flops.
Can you just say, I feel like to avoid the confusion, you can just say flip-flops.
I refuse.
Well, because keep this in mind. The point of language is communication, getting your ideas across to other people.
Okay, sorry.
Right? By not communicating effectively and using the appropriate words, you are failing at languages.
Everyone, when I say thongs, it means flip-flops, but I will bracket the word flip-flops in there. So
Oh, don't do that.
I
That's
put on
even
my
worse.
thongs,
That's
bracket,
indecisiveness.
flip-flops,
Anyway.
close bracket. I walk around and all the Dutch stare at me whenever I just wear shorts.
They stare at you.
Because it's winter. I get it's cold. I get that you guys...
How cold is it, don't you outside?
What is it, 4 degrees today?
Celsius, not Fahrenheit.
What is that Fahrenheit? That's
I don't know. I don't know.
That's 31 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh, okay.
I think. 31.0, so it's about 34, 32, 33, 34 degrees. Anyway, I was walking out behind, and these people... Grocery store. And they go... You guys tut.
No.
Admit it, the Dutch tut. They look at me like I'm crazy. They said, it's a bit cold, and I said, yeah. It's just, I live around.
They even talk to you.
The woman behind Albert Heijn grocery store talks to me because I know her. She's like local.
You
local.
know her.
But like all the people will be looking at me when I walk in. Like, they'll look me up and down. And
But
go,
who went?
a man that opened the door.
But did you know the guy?
No, it's a random
He just
person, and they all stare at me. But this is really common. Like you see in America where people don't criticize me saying this again, in TV shows and movies, people will walk out in like a singlet and shorts.
Singlet?
You know what a singlet is?
I have no idea what a singlet is.
It's an undershirt.
An undershirt.
A white
okay.
undershirt.
Undershirt.
And they'll walk out and they might, or a robe, and they might pick up the paper, or they might walk the dog.
Okay, that's fine.
That's normal.
That's okay.
But if I do that in my thongs, bracket flip-flops, and shorts and t-shirt, I get stared at, and it makes me feel so uncomfortable. What would you do in this situation? Like, do you think it's wrong?
Okay. I think that you shouldn't wear flip-flops in the winter.
Why not?
Because it's cold and you're going to get a cold. That's just practical advice.
So that's your practical advice.
That's my practical advice.
That's Dr. Noah.
Yes. I would stare at you.
Really?
Because I think it's strange.
But it's like, it's
But just
common.
I wouldn't stare at you because it's rude to stare at people. But I would glance. If you see something strange, you always just glance. You can't help it. It's just a glance. Because what the hell? I started wearing scarves. I have to wear a scarf. I have to wear a hat. I have to wear my gloves. And then this guy in shorts. Because it's not just about the flip-flops. It's also about the shorts that you're wearing. Shorts and flip-flops.
And my shorts are short.
And they're short shorts.
They're like rugby shorts. They're short.
And I think that's strange. And I would give you a glance. I wouldn't talk to you about it. Nor would I go, ugh. Right? I think that's rude.
Yeah.
I think it's rude that someone go, ugh.
Yeah.
Right?
That hurt. That's why I brought this up.
It hurt.
That hurt. It touched me deeply, Noah.
But in the end, it is your own choice, to do that.
And I feel like
I'm not going to stop you from doing it, but I do think it's a bit stupid and ridiculous.
But in a culture that's so progressive, I thought that people would
Because they're not holding it against you. They just think it's strange.
What is wrong with these people that come into my country?
And they're wearing flip-flops. No, I remember it's very similar to what I had I go to Japan quite often because my sister used to live there. And when I went to Japan, they don't see white people very often. So I always got stared at. I'm also quite tall.
I'm compared.
Well, no, even on a
global scale as well. Yeah.
I'm like, what, 6'1"?
Yeah, you're 6'1".
I'm like 6'1", which is relatively tall. And they stared at me because they were like, what the hell? I was also wearing, at the time, I had a Feel the Burn t-shirt. So I had a big on my t-shirt. I'm wearing it now. I had my big Feel the Burn on, which was quite funny. And people were they were like looking over their shoulder and they were staring at me. Like, what is this white guy doing here? Oh my God. So I understand. I don't like that feeling of people staring at me. I find that very uncomfortable. But it's just something you have to live with. Because you can't say to everyone around you, everyone stop looking at me.
True.
That's obviously not acceptable.
But you know what I have respect for? The people that if they're doing something different and they see people like looking at them like, yeah, I see you. You know what? I'm doing this. Respect it. This is what I like to do. People that call out the people that don't respect.
Oh, call out people.
Like, that don't respect the people that are like...
What do you mean? Could you give an example?
Okay, let's say there is a man wearing a like there are two. This is a good example. I saw this in a restaurant.
Good example.
There are two gay men having lunch.
Sure.
And they're very happy, and there's this old couple sitting next to them.
Yeah.
And the old couple complains to the waiter saying, "We don't want to sit next to two gays."
Seriously?
Yeah.
That's so messed
So
up.
messed up,
That
right?
is so
Not
unacceptable.
So they
Wait,
say,
so no, did they ask the gay couple to move, or did they?
They asked the waiters to move the gay couple or move them, like move the gay couple, and
No,
they
did they? Okay, this is very important.
Very important. No, they asked.
Did they ask the waiter to move the gay couple, or did they ask the waiter if they could be moved?
Their exact words, which I recall, are, "We are not comfortable sitting here. Can you please arrange a new table?"
For us.
No, it didn't say for us. Can you arrange a new table?
For who?
That's what I didn't hear. But this is where it gets interesting, because the gay couple hears this, and I believe it was the man. Yeah, no, the man sitting on the bench, because it was like a benched restaurant.
Yeah.
He says turned and said, "Do you have an issue with me?" And there was this huge fight because
huge fight,
not a huge, but like he was telling them off, standing his ground, explaining that you need to respect.
Nice, yeah, good, go for that guy.
That's what I want to channel. I have so much respect for the people who don't just cop. Part of my French here, cop the shit. They stand up for what they believe in to the people that.
I think that there's a line.
There's a line
between people going to you when you're wearing flip flops because it's winter. Right? Mm-hmm. And there's a line between someone being very obviously discriminatory towards
a group of people.
Gay people.
And
I think that
the thong wearing, short wearing people.
Yeah, and I think that getting outraged for someone going when you're wearing.
No, I wouldn't. But what I'm saying is, I have so much respect for people who.
But you said you wanted to channel that. That's what you said.
No, I'd like to channel that in my general life.
In general, I think that's a good thing to channel. I think that you shouldn't do that.
Some guy just goes. It's like, why are you disrespecting my thongs? Sorry, I've just raped everyone.
If you're a bit loud there. But I think that going on a big speech about
my fellow bystanders.
Yeah. It's like, how can you this injustice in society?
This is outrageous. I should call the police.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think that's
necessary.
I don't think that's necessary. But I do think that. I can't believe the couple did that. That's absolutely
it was sad.
Awful. It is very sad,
and I don't think it was right. And I think that we need to progress.
Lamps.
So my step-grandfather told me a very interesting saying.
Step-grandfather? Oh, I see. I understand.
A grandfather from a new marriage. He said a very interesting saying. Overhead lighting is for poor people.
Overhead lighting is for poor people.
Mm-hmm. It was a joke because he.
It was a joke. Is he a bit elitist?
No, not at all.
Not at all. Okay.
He is such a lovely, kind-hearted man. But it was because we were making a joke because he finds lamps, just the light that they produce is so much nicer than overhead.
But they're all just lamps.
Are they though?
Yes.
So let's say you're in a room. It's night or day, and would you prefer to have beautiful this makes it more biased. Would you prefer to have lamps on, and no overhead lights, overhead lights and no lamps on?
Whatever best achieves the
situation.
Lighting of the room.
Okay.
And whatever mood, because you have different light moods.
Lamps are more calm, right?
No,
you don't think so?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Okay. It really depends on the types of bulbs you have in the ceiling.
Philips Hue.
I don't know.
Oh, never mind.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Because any bulb that you put in the ceiling, you can put into a lamp, and you can have nice warm light in your ceiling lamps. Okay. So, I think that whatever just makes the room lighted the best.
Yep.
Is the way to go, and it can be done through top lighting, side lighting. Who cares?
So you're not a.
I don't really care. I don't really care. As long as it gets my room lit, then I'm fine.
See, I never turn on my overhead lights in my room.
Never.
No, because I have Amazon Alexa and Philips Hue, which are two products that work together. So I can voice command my lights to turn on.
That's so
turn on.
cool.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So I'll be laying in bed and say, Alexa, turn bedroom lamps off. And they'll all turn off, and then they'll all turn on.
Amazing.
So my overhead lights won't.
Do you have that thing where you can? Do you have like the sunrise?
Yes. So I have the artificial sunrise. So my lights will automatically start turning on at 6 till 6:30. every day.
So cool. You wake up at 6:30?
Yeah.
That's barely. Anyway, sorry. But that is
Start the morning routine. No. But just sidetrack. It is really good for you to naturally wake up.
I know, yeah.
It's good.
Very, very nice.
Sorry. But yeah. So that's, I never use overhead lights. But you don't care. It's whatever's
I don't
more.
care at all.
No?
Whatever is more effective. And I think both can be equally effective. Depends on the room.
That's very interesting.
So what did you want to talk about?
I have one last topic I want to bring up with you.
Oh, you have a topic?
Well, not topic, but I just have a question.
You have a question.
What do you think's more vital for your future? Schools teaching us basic school subjects, maths, English, Latin.
Latin?
Yeah, in the UK, my stepbrother and sister, they learn Latin, ancient
Why would
Greek.
you learn Latin,
I
ancient
know.
Greek. I don't know
Anyway,
about all that.
but like you learn all the sciences, or would you rather have specialized schools, so at the age of or like schools where you can leave at a younger age, where you know definitely what you want to do?
Yeah, I don't think that I think that school is very much a lot of learning things that you won't need necessarily, but it's very good in teaching you other skills through learning that work.
What do you mean by other skills?
Having work to do in general provides you with structure and organization and provides you with skills that you will need in your future. And I think a lot of people don't know what they want to do for a very long time. And I think that having such a wide range of options, of able to learn particle physics and being able to learn, integration in math or calculus or whatever, learn all these things.
Demand.
Or in economics, it helps you broaden your horizons and helps you learn what you want. And I don't think that kids that are at a very young age necessarily want to lock down what they're going to do for the rest of their life.
No.
Because I remember I was younger and I wanted to be a pilot. Then I wanted to be a pianist, I think. And then I wanted to be a lawyer. And then I really wanted to be president for a very long time.
You still kind of.
Not really, no. And now I don't really know. I want to do something with economics. And that's what I want to study at university. And then I'll figure it out.
Along the way.
Huh?
You figure it out along the way.
I just want to do what I find fun, and then I'll find a job that does that. I think that's a good life lesson. But I think that school is more than just the content of the subjects. It is learning how to interact with other people.
So the social aspect's very important.
Very important, especially at a very young age, because when you're a child, you're very much primal in not knowing how to interact with other human beings and learning that, no, biting people is not okay. Or
no, Sally, do not steal the glue stick and shove it up Jared's nose.
Yeah, exactly. Or chewing on crayons may not be the best idea. Or drawing on the wall is not a good plan. I once, as a kid, put a bunch of lit matches into a straw trash can, and it nearly caught on fire. This is the point, that you are slowly being educated to not do these kinds of things. And because your parents are busy being productive members of society,
doing good things
and doing work, well, potentially good things, depends on what they're doing, but doing work, they need babysitters to manage you. And having one person oversee 30 students, like a teacher, is nice, because that means that each parent doesn't have to take care of just one student, so that they can be busy, so the teacher can also be busy.
Yep.
And at the same time, while you're teaching them things, why not just have them learn interesting things about the way the universe works, about the way literature is written, about what things mean, and that expands their horizons, let them see what they enjoy most about what they're doing. Now, to conclude really quickly, because we're nearly at the end of the episode, I would like to say that if you want to listen to us live, you can on Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, if you're listening to us not live. And you can find us on twitch.tv/Radio Hot Air. Secondly, please watch out for a Christmas Star Wars special where we're going to have two special guests on where we're going to review Star Wars. And is there anything else you want to say, Duffy, before you leave us for 2 weeks?
I just wanted to say, guys, have a great holiday season, and I look forward to seeing you guys after the new year. And remember, goodbye, decade.
Goodbye.